Hey, let me ask you this. So you all use ThreatConnect. So you all are a ThreatConnect company and you've been using it. How are you using it? And what are some of the things that you're doing that ThreatConnect is helping you in your day-to-day operations?
Good question. So with ThreatConnect, we really rely on it for threat intelligence and also sort of a central repo for that intelligence information. And it's really helpful when we can, for example, focus on particular actor groups that might be targeting our particular industry, those sort of things. And really, with threat intelligence, you have your IOCs that will, sort of help you build out. What people probably should understand is that threat intelligence gets very crucial, in particular when you can start, mapping those things out to techniques like we talked about a little bit earlier, just sort of touched on. Um, in a large enterprise environment, for example, we have a cyber threat intelligence group, and they curate information, they review information, they pass it along. That's really, by and large, a lot in within ThreatConnect. Those particular things then are suggested to our detection engineering folks to build monitoring and detection rules, and those rules then create alerts then that get looked at by a security operations center analyst. And so the better the intelligence you have, the better the alert detections are, and the better the detections and alerts are, the more efficient and the better you assist the analyst that's looking at these alerts. Some of the other things that I will do with ThreatConnect specifically is look at some of the artifacts from attacks that we have seen and see if we can sort of attribute them to different actor groups, that sort of thing, to try to understand, maybe, who is targeting us. And that's the kind of information that feeds into a threat informed defense, where you are taking what you know and you're applying that to really what your defenses and your responses are. So that's where that gets critically important. And what's nice with ThreatConnect is that we can saw through really high volumes of information and kind of filter it down to what we're looking for. And that's been particularly valuable for us. And I'm super excited what the future holds with some of the things I've seen around getting to MITRE. I tell people all the time that you always have to be careful when you're doing detection stuff. And I've cited this example often because it still holds water. But if I have a file called badware.exe, for example, and that's what my monitoring and detection rules are looking for, they're just looking for that particular file name. Well, all somebody has to do is rename badware.exe to goodware.exe, and the detection will completely miss that.
Yeah.
And so also you can hash files, and there's definitely merit and value to that. But it's not terribly difficult to modify a file and get a different hash with just the slightest modification. So when you can boil things down to specific techniques, that's where I think you really have the best power, if you will, in terms of being able to identify, okay, here's what we should actually look for. Here are the behaviors, because really it's about understanding those behaviors and, again, what those techniques are. And then you're looking less for things that could be easily modified. You're looking more for the things that are going to be consistent, even if the attack is altered or modified slightly. So, yeah, like I said, really, for what I see is, ThreatConnect is sort of the beginning point in that cycle that is feeding into detection, which then goes into incident response.
I loved your threat informed defensive defense. I love that. I'm going to use that because that's what we're talking about. And that's the big thing that we do find is that your tools are only as good as your latest. Can you hear that out there? Did you hear that? Sorry. Well, you do that. So I was going to say your tools are only as good as, actually, I'm going to start all the way over so we can, no, I love that threat informed defense, because that's the big thing that we're doing, right? Is you're only as good as your latest intel, right? All your tools out there are only going to be as effective as the latest intel that's out there, because of exactly what you talked about, right? If we've got to stop something, I need to know what that something is, whether it's behavior, whether it's something specific like your badware.exe, or if it's just the mere threat of trends or something that you see going on, being able to prevent against that. Is what we're doing here with this whole TI ops, right? Threat intelligence operations, taking that threat intelligence and infusing it into your security operations. So I love threat informed defense. I love that.